Hey guys, and welcome to Reading with Mo. I'm excited to share with you the books that I'm hoping to get to in the month of May. I have some backlist books that I'm going to be trying to get to if you see my most recent shelf tour, as well as a few book series I'm going to be continuing on with, and some new releases that I'm hoping to pick up through my library. Before we get into that, I would like to go ahead first and thank today's sponsor of this video, who is Book of the Month. Book of the Month is a super popular and fast growing online service for readers. I have been a subscriber of theirs in the past. They give you your choice as a reader from a curated selection of new and early release titles, which is pretty cool, so that you can spend more time reading and less time researching, unless you're like me and you just like to research all types of books that are coming out all the time. You can try Book of the Month risk-free. You can skip any month, any time, and you won't be charged. You can get your first book for just $9.99 with the code GOMAY, and I want to show you guys the books. So there's like usually 5 to 7 books that they have selected. So these are the titles that they currently selected for the month of May. The book that would be my pick would be Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. This book was already on my radar for a release this year, and I'm definitely going to be adding this one for sure, prioritizing it on my TBR for the month of May. This book is a novel about a young black nurse's shocking discovery and burning quest for justice in post-segregation Alabama, from the best-selling author of Wench, which I haven't heard of that book, but I am hoping that this book will be a 5-star read. And then they also sent an add-on for the month of May, which was Book of Night by Holly Black. So thanks again to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to use the code GOMAY if you guys want your first box for $9.99. Now back to my rest of my TBR. Besides the one I already mentioned, Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez, I will be prioritizing some other books as well. So there's a couple of series that I've been working on that I would like to continue with. The first one is the second book in the Tawny Man trilogy by Robin Hobb. This one's called The Golden Fool. I completed the first one in the month of April, and so now I'm going to be continuing on with the second book in the trilogy. I am really enjoying being back in the world with Fitz and the Fool and all these characters that I've come to really love in the first Assassin's Apprentice series that I kind of missed, that I didn't really see most of them in the second trilogy. Why am I blanking on the name of that one now? It was and that series, of course, being the Live Ship Traders series. I gave the last one, I think, 4 stars. I haven't posted my wrap-up yet, but you guys will see all my thoughts on the first book in the trilogy in that video. Then we have a book that I've rolled over 2 months now, but I'm really hoping I'm going to get to this one in May, and that is Chapter House by Frank Herbert, the 5th book in the Dune series. I just really didn't prioritize it in the month of May. In the month of April, I had just picked way too many books, and I guess I just don't really have as much energy or reading time. I don't even know what happened in April. I read a lot of books, but I didn't get to this one. So I don't really feel bad about not getting to it. I know I will eventually, and I'm hoping May is the month for that. I can't really say too much because it's going to give things away for what happens in the other series. I don't want to spoil anybody, but yeah, I'm going to try to get to this one. Then we have a selection of titles that I chose specifically from this bookshelf here on my shelves, where I showed you guys all the books on there that I have and haven't read. So I took a look at the ones I haven't read, and the ones I am going to try to prioritize for May are these 6. Hopefully I'll get to them. At least if I only get to a few, I don't feel bad as long as I read a few of them. First, we have Strange Weather in Tokyo, a novel by Hiromi Kawakami, translated by Allison Markin Powell. We're following Tsukiko. She's 38 and works in an office and lives alone. One night, she happens to meet one of her former high school teachers. Their relationship develops from acknowledgement of each other to possibly a love romance story, so we'll see about that. Then we have The Chrysalids by John Wyndham. This one is a post-nuclear apocalypse story of genetic mutation. It's pretty short, so I feel like those two for sure I can get to very quickly, as well as these 2 novels by Gail Jones. We have Corregidora and Eva's Man. Eva's Man, we're following a woman in a psychiatric ward who has murdered her lover, and they want to know why. And in this one, which is Corregidora, we're following Ursa, who is a blues singer, and she is consumed by her hatred of Corregidora, who is a 19th century slave master who fathered both her and her grandmother. I really want to get to these Gail Jones books. There's another one in this edition published by Virago modern classics called Healing, but I don't have that one yet. I figured I need to read these two first before I go and buy the other one. Then we have a book I won in an Instagram giveaway from Amistad Books, and that is coming out in the month of May. It's called Miss Chloe, A Literary Friendship with Toni Morrison by A.J. Verdell. I believe we're following the literary friendship between these two writers, which sounds very heartwarming, and I cannot wait to get to this one. Then we have Mrs. England by Stacey Halls. This book, we're following a nurse who has just graduated, and she is hired on for this wealthy family to take care of their kids, but things aren't exactly as they seem. I am thinking that this is kind of more of an atmospheric gothic novel, and I'm hoping that those vibes are delivered. And then lastly, from that shelf, I have a nonfiction book called Heretics and Heroes: How Renaissance Artists and Reformation Priests Created Our World by Thomas Cahill. I mentioned before that I am really into learning about like the Renaissance and Italian history and European history and stuff, and I'm hoping that this book will be a good supplement to the TV shows that I've been watching lately on Netflix. And then lastly, I have some books that I am on hold for at my library that I'm hoping will come through. Most of these are audiobooks. I always like to have one audiobook on the go for when I am driving or cleaning my apartment or getting ready for work in the morning. So the first one is Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough, and these are all books that I've mentioned in my anticipated releases video, and I tried to get on hold at my library early enough, but lately I haven't been, and I'm like super far down on the holds list, so that's why these ones I have been waiting for a while actually. So we have that one, which is a thriller or mystery thriller. And then I'm also on hold for a few other audiobooks, but I'm doubting I'm going to get them even during the month of May because the wait times are anywhere from like 6 to 9 weeks. So I will hopefully get to a couple other new releases as well, ones that are releasing in May. I just have to see how quickly I can get onto my library's waitlist and how far down I am on those waitlists. So you guys are just going to have to wait until I do my May wrap up to see what new releases in May come out that I'm actually able to get my hands on. But for sure I will be getting to 2 new releases at least besides Insomnia. I have these 2 as physical copies, so I do have some May releases I'll get to for sure. So those are my reading plans for the month of May. Let me know what you guys are planning on reading next month, and we can go ahead and talk about it down below. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!